how did Governor Slugwell, that moniker, come to you? Because your real name's Victor, right?
Victor Williams.
Yeah.
That's what my mother named me.
All right.
I started out, so that's my hip hop moniker. I call it my family name. Hip hop is actually the family name.
Yeah.
But I started out in the '80s being called MC Spice.
Really?
Or Spicy V. Right? So this is I'm letting you in on some real jewels right now.
All right.
Like, nobody
MC
knows
Spice.
that unless I know how people know me by which name they call me. So if someone comes up to me and they say, "Oh, Spice," I'm like, okay, that's somebody that really knows me,
From way back.
From way back. If they call me Spice,
I'm gonna remember that.
Spicy V. I'm like, okay, they've been knowing me since I was a teenager.
Next time I see you, you're gonna forget you told me this, and I'll be like, "Hey, Spice," and you'll be like, "What?
What?" Like,
Brian and I go way back. It must be the Northview Creston connection.
So that was my name for a long time, and then it just got to a point where once the '90s rolled around, like, yeah, that's kind of old school. Like, I need to step into the next millennium, and so I was coming up with names, and I just like to take inspiration from books or, music or movies or whatever, and I came up with this long list. I just scouring, looking at names and different stuff, and I came up with a long list of potential names. And for some reason, that one just stood out to me. And
Yeah.
I shared them with some friends, and they were like, "That's you," like Governor Slugwell, like says you, it fits you, like fits your personality. I'm like, yeah, but I'm gonna let you in another jewel.
All right, I'm leaning in.
This is a first. I actually got the name. It's a Frank Zappa. Are you familiar with Lord Buckley?
I know the name, but I don't know the history of that character.
He's a Frank Zappa protege, and he had these like comical albums where he would speak in this. He spoke in this English accent. And he would do these routines about English royalty and making fun of them and stuff.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And Governor Slugwell was one of the skits. And I love the skit. It was hilarious. And I used to listen to it all the time. And I love the skit. I like the name. So I just wrote it down. That was...
The Full Exposure Podcast is brought to you by Metro Health, University of Michigan Health, and Dr. Peter Hahn, in appreciation of the creative and artistic visionaries who enrich our lives through cultural connections.